Steve and Jill here.
Hi.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Steve and Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about the role data plays in property acquisitions and sales.
I would like to just point out that we were talking about this topic and what Stephen was thinking when he wrote this topic the other day. And my comment was, why am I here?
Well, why am I
today?
here then?
Why am I here today?
Why do you need me?
Exactly. I'm just here to, I'm here for moral support.
Jill, you make this whole thing work, trust me.
Thank you.
Without you, I'm just a guy in front of a camera talking about real estate, and nobody wants that.
Okay.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free.
All right. Palani asks, has anyone ever sold a note before? Let's say that you're having a tough time selling a certain property for cash, but you sell a property under contract for terms. Package up that deal and sell the note to get your cash price. Example, you're trying to sell a property for $5,000 cash, but you're only getting people interested at $8,000 on terms. Once the property is under contract, sell the particular property at the terms price and then sell the contract to an investor to get $5,000 cash price. Has anyone ever done this? If so, what are the pros and cons to doing this?
Polana, you're a genius.
It's good.
I've done this many times. There's people in our group
Sure there are.
that do this. This is their business model. They pay cash for a piece of property, double the price, sell it on terms really quickly. But there's only one thing I have to add to your logic. There are two things that a note buyer looks at when they assess that note. The creditworthiness of the person who's making the payments. Oh, great. Everyone loves their credit score. So that can be a big problem, especially with people who are buying rural vacant land on terms. And number two, the age of the note. In my experience, I've done this many times. We don't do it anymore. We're cash buyers and sellers. What they want to see is a 6-month flawlessly paid for on-time note payment schedule. At bare minimum. If it's 2 years, if you have a 2-year payment schedule, you're going to get a much more attractive discount rate to you. Meaning, if it's $8,000, you could sell the note for a lot more than $5,000.
Right.
So just do a little bit more research, maybe a day's more of research, but you've got a great concept. Selling property on terms is way, way easier than selling it for cash.
What I would do is I would look at who my buyer is first and ask them what they want. Because most of the times, the reason we're selling these properties on terms is because they can't qualify. They couldn't qualify. They're just, and we don't really go into it. I don't know anybody that really goes into checking
Really good point.
their credit scores. For some reason they can't afford the cash, but they really want to put their mobile home on there or their RV on there and start living there right now. Maybe they don't have a good credit score or any credit score. So we make it easy for them too, because at the end of the day, if we have to take back the land, that's not hard. We don't have to eject them from a home and, it's not like it's a big, it's not as difficult, if you will. So your buyer is going to be a little bit different. And I would, like I said, I would find out what they want.
Yeah, I mean, the note business is huge. Jill and I know people who are bajillionaires that buy notes and manipulate them. And they all have a strategy just like we do in real estate. Actual real estate business, like we prefer to buy land. In a lot of cases, land that nobody wants at all.
Right.
In certain cases, we like to buy houses with House Academy and just wholesale them out. So note buyers are just like that.
Right.
They want a very specific type of note that might be X amount. And a lot of them buy non-performing notes.
Right.
So you could approach it that way. They're going to expect a huge discount rate.
Right.
So
there goes your sell it for $8.
Yeah, sell it for $2.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you paid $1 for it, now you double your money. So there's a lot of ways to approach that. And I'm glad you wrote the question. Thank you.
Yeah.
Today's topic, the role data plays in property acquisitions and sales. This is the meat of the show. So what I said to Jill when we started was, how about I interview you about the actual anatomy of a deal, a regular land deal for us or for anybody in our group.
Okay.
And then as that's happening, I'll comment on the actual role that data plays.
Okay. Ready.
So
Step 1.
you get up in the morning and you say, I want to do a land real estate deal. What's the first thing you do?
Pick a county.
Pick a county. How do you pick a county? Using data. You look at completed sales, properties that are for sale in the area, If it's a supported zip code in the data sources that we use, namely realtor.com and redfin.com, you take all the zip codes in that county and you line them up against each other,
Right.
and you check for days on market and all kinds of other statistics that it's beyond the scope of
Show.
this episode. But
Yeah.
thanks for correcting me. This episode.
Helping you.
No, what you're doing is moving it forward, which
No,
I really appreciate. You check the zip codes against each other, and it's going to be glaringly obvious through the use of data which properties and which zip codes make most sense to send mail out.
Right.
So what's next? So, okay, good. So I picked a county. I looked at 4 counties in a state. I decided that one county makes a lot of sense. Specifically, these 2 or 3 or 4 zip codes in that county
Right.
make an incredible amount of sense because property seems to be moving there.
Now I got to collect the information of who I'm going to make offers to.
Right.
Putting
So,
the offers together.
all right. So I pull the assessor data and I look at every single person that owns land within the parameters that I'm interested in. So let's say I only want to buy land that's between 2.5 acres and 5.5 acres. I only, for whatever reason, want to do it with people who own where their mailing address, where the tax bill goes, is the same state as the land is in.
Right.
I'm just streaming this up. You can.
Okay.
There's all kinds of millions of parameters.
Right.
I only want to send it to people who don't have any debt on it, and
Right.
on and on and on. So I'm using data based on my acquisition criteria to just send these specific people letters,
Right.
offers.
How about what offers are you sending them? The price.
Yes. So pricing. So that's how you absolutely have to use data for pricing. Otherwise, you're just guessing. So the data. You pull up what you believe it. There's a lot of different ways to do this, and we talk about it all throughout our education program. What properties have sold for in the area, and what properties are listed for sale, and then you price accordingly. And you price it so that the end goal here is that you're not making a mistake at all. If the person signs the offer and sends it back, there's a darn good chance that it's the greatest. You're going to accept the offer and move forward because it's so cheap for you. You can't lose.
I'm going to add a little note in there too that we know it's very difficult to find good comps for sold closed properties in the land market. They're traditionally not there. So we look really at what is for sale right now, not what sold a year ago, 2 years ago, because that's all we could find kind of thing. What they're posted for right now for sale and use that as a gauge.
Exactly.
Thank you. Okay, so now the offers come back. Now I got to pick which ones I want to buy.
So you sent all the offers out based on your offer criteria and your pricing. They went out in the mail, and the offers come back. And 3 of them or 4 of them or 5 of them are signed.
Right.
I don't necessarily want to or should do every single offer that comes back. So I take a look at the properties that are coming back. I'm staring at them on my desk. I get on the computer and I use parcelfacts.com, which is a website that we have created and we own, to take a look at whether or not there's access. Is there anything good about the property? Is there good mountain views? It's back to the 4 A's. Access, got to have it. Attribute, is it close to the mountains? Affordability, is it cheap? Probably, if you did your mailer right. And
Acreage.
Larger, generally, this is for rural vacant land, larger is better.
Right.
Does it have those things? Does it look like, test for reason? So now I'm using data. And how do you do that? You look at all the other stuff that's going on around it.
Right.
And not just ParcelFact. You use sites like Land and Farm, LandWatch, and Realtor.com to see what types of properties are priced and where they are.
Right.
So next step.
Now I bought it. I own it. Now I'm selling it.
So I had 5. I chose 3 based on those things.
Yep.
And I go to buy it. And that's pretty traditional acquisition there. You could use data to find a notary to get it closed, but it's not. It's pretty standard stuff to get a real estate deal
Exactly.
closed. So now we go to sell it.
Exactly.
I'm going to interview you.
Oh,
We own the property. It's in our name. We want to sell it for twice what we paid, like
Right.
Jill and I do every single week. How do you use data to do that?
well, I already used the data when we bought it. We already bought it that
Ding,
way.
ding.
I already know that. I wouldn't be pulling the trigger and buying it if I knew what I could get out of it. So that part's kind of already done. Now my job is to post it everywhere. Maybe I use data to make sure I'm hitting the right people in the right markets. I probably do that. We use a lot of social media for figuring that out. And, we talked about unique properties for unique people, and it's reach. You got to reach them. So, and
That's
use
it.
data for that.
And then the other thing too is that there's a very, very good chance if you're buying rural vacant acreage
Right.
that people in the immediate area,
Yep.
owners in the
That's
immediate
true.
area, will buy the property from you.
The neighbors.
And so all that data is packed into Parcel Fact. This is not a Parcel Fact commercial, by the way. It's just we know the value of data, so we put it all in one place for you.
Exactly.
That's how you sell property. The other place, how we use data to sell property every single Wednesday is we send out an email with smoking deals like specials, Wednesday special. I don't know what it's called, hump day
Hump
special
day
or special.
specials. Uh-huh.
And we've accumulated it in massive lists over the last 20 years of
Yeah.
people who buy real estate from us. So there's not one step of this that's not data centric or data driven. And we're with incredible predictable results that this can happen, like we talked about yesterday.
Thank you.
Hey, we know your time's valuable. Thanks for spending some of it with us today. Join us next time for the episode called Our In-House Title Escrow Company is Coming Soon. Title Mind.
I did not know we were sharing that. And we answer your questions posted on our online community in landinvestors.com. It is free.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition. Yeah, you're the one who came up with that title.
Oh,
This
did
isn't
I?
my show, yeah.
Did I? I didn't know we were going to talk about
We had
it.
a little Skype frenzy session. a couple
I
days
didn't know we were going to talk about that release set, but that's okay. We can tell them about it now. It's
Yeah.
going to be good. We'll share what we have, what we're going to do. Hey, wherever you're watching, wherever you are listening, please subscribe and rate us there.
We are
Steve
Steve and
Jill.
Jill. Information
And inspiration.
to buy undervalued property.